The sunk cost fallacy in software. Erik Dörnenburg. What's this? Hello, I'm Chris Athanas. I'm a KMP developer. TechSport says they're coming out to close that up. They promised me Tuesday. What's Eric have to say about the sunk cost fallacy? It's also called the gambler's fallacy. It's like the thing I always complain about. We got $1 million in that code base. We got that's a $2 million code base. It's like, okay, all right, let's see what Eric has to say.
And I think in software we have to have the same thing. We don't have to strive now to say, now I have the best plan for software for the next 10 years. If we have a good plan for the next 2-3 years, let's go with it. And if after 2-3 years it turns out,
or 2-3 months or 2-3 weeks, these time frames are all specious. Depends on the size of the project. Depends on what you're trying to do. It depends on are you being paid to do this? Are you doing it on your own money? Are you trying to explore a space? Is you on your vacation? Is the wife out of town for 2 weeks visiting her parents, and you have a time to spin up a Unix system?
in 2 or 3 years' time, it isn't a good plan anymore, or it isn't a good solution.
Right.
That doesn't mean automatically it was a bad solution.
Right.
It comes back
it's because that's the best known thing at the time. With what we know now, and that we had to take some action. We couldn't wait for all the information to come in, because the time that happens, it's already over. We have to make educated guesses. You have to make it lucky. All this stuff is luck. A lot of people have the same exact thing, the same exact solution at the same time. And even then, it's just like, okay, this little thing happened and it went that way, or it was always going to go that way anyway. And people were trying all these other things, and eventually Shelling point hit to this one thing, like, how cell phones are now. They're not crazy all button widget out like they used to be. They used to be so cool. They used to come out with these crazy models, flippy little screens and things flying around. Now the biggest thing they got is, look, the flat thing folds up. It's like, okay, that's not what it used to be. Super like, what are all these buttons and widgets and dials on this thing?
to basically what people said in the Agile Manifesto, responding to change over following a plan.
Right.
That is this idea.
Well, we have to. This is just fact. This is like scientific facts of like basic biology. Like, if you don't eat, you don't breathe, you're not gonna live. It's like, if you don't somehow get rid of your parasites, you're not gonna make it.
That's something that we have to be strong enough or confident enough to say, yeah, things have changed. What I said 2 years ago, strike it. What I said last month, it looked good last month.
People don't like to hear that, especially Harvard MBAs who've given that every business is the same. It's just a widget factory, and we just get the right finance and advertising and marketing, budgeting, and all that stuff. Just set up all kind of HR and put that in there. Then everything just works like a charm. Yeah, until the thing that we're making at the widget factory, we have to figure out something else. What about that Harvard MBA, mister? Well, that's the R&D departments. No, it's not. It's the whole thing. It's the whole thing, Mr. Harvard MBA. It's the whole thing. It's from the time they hear about the name of your business to what you do to how you do it, and how all that stuff. It's not just the corporate org chart. It's like, no, it's more than that. Come on now. And that's where the Harvard MBAs are like, well, this should work. It's like, well, it's not working. Now what? Well, we'll just get R&D to. So yeah, but you guys don't like them. They're pains in the ass. They make you pissed off because they tell you things that aren't working and that how they improve it. And, well, that's a big investment there, bucko. Yes, it is.
It's the wrong choice now. There's a really, really dangerous thing here that is known under the term the sunk cost fallacy.
Yeah.
So the idea is, we've spent so much money on that enterprise service bus.
Yes.
Even though everything points at it being absolutely useless.
Correct.
You'll notice that I don't like enterprise service buses.
And this is just, every company has done this kind of stuff. All of them do it. And so that means it's a human fault. We really want to know, and if we've had success with something, we will not let other thoughts come in that we may need to give that up and try something else. Even when the company is going down, it's like when Rome was decaying, everything, I all thought it would just turn around next year. And it just goes down, because they do not want to change their existing processes, because it requires too much investment of their time, or they have to let their ego go, like, I was wrong, I missed it, I didn't see it. And some wrong, and that's why I have to cycle in CEOs all the time. It's because these guys won't let go. Like, they're trying to win last year's race that they won. They want to win it again the same way, and they don't realize it's just you got lucky, man. You got lucky, and you caught the wind, and you try. All you can do is try new stuff and do your best you can. Put tests out there in the most intelligent ways, which there are ways to test these things, and to keep trying something new. Because the moment you've given up and you're just like, well, I'm going to do a stock buyback program. That's how we're going to keep the stock price up. We're not going to innovate new products or make it easier or cheaper, faster, or more fun, or the new market or new place or new service. No. We're going to do a stock buyback. That's Harvard. MBA's at work.
Later on as well. Even though it's totally useless, we can't possibly get rid of it because we convinced the board 3 months ago to spend $10,000 or $100,000 on it.
Got money in that code base.
But you really, really need to be careful. When you know something has changed, it is secondary and even sometimes not necessary to find out whose fault it was. The most important thing is going forward is to do the best thing that you know at the point in time.
Yeah, that's super hard. That's why companies usually are fail. That's why the failure rate, even when these big, huge corporations, they're like, AT&T was massive. AT&T was a mother of all companies. And where are they now? They sell cell phone service. And they were like monsters. And now they're just tiny little. So it's like you do have to change one way or another, and it's becoming more evident like these days. But people it's a human fault, man. And it's also an opportunity because these guys, all the code bases that we have so far, all need to be changed. All need to be wiped out. All would be useless within 5 to 10 years, or even less than that. And you all open to attack because they're all built to have these huge staffs of people supporting it. When if you could do it in a different way, which I recommend the KMP, looking at all that stuff. I've got courses or not courses, but guides and whatever you want to call them, examples. So you can have a smaller teams and go deeper down into a niche and serve a customer there that's dissatisfied with the current offering of those guys. All right, enough rambling. Give me a like, subscribe. I'll leave the links in the doodly-doo.